Near the epicenter of Morocco's deadly earthquake, devastating loss is coming into focus. Brahim Nazar's 7-year-old son Suleiman was sleeping when the 6.8 magnitude quake struck.
There were guests here at my house, and I told my wife to take him to his room to sleep. And she took him to this room. As she came back outside, the earthquake happened, and the ceilings were destroyed, and they fell on him.
His wife told him to listen for any sign of life in the rubble, but it was too late. Suleiman was about to start a new school year. His older brother Muath says Suleiman had a special perspective on life.
He always saw the whole world, always saw the spring and the trees and the land. One day when he was playing with my other brother, he paused and said to him, "But there will come a day when he will cry over his loss." And here I am doing just that.
Muath says he and another brother managed to survive by climbing through the collapsed kitchen ceiling. Suleiman is one of more than 2,600 people who died in Friday's disaster. Boulders have blocked roads, making it difficult for rescue workers to reach the area. Brahim said he helped rescue half a dozen neighbors in the hamlet and pulled out several dead bodies. Despite so much loss, Brahim says he plans to rebuild here and is just grateful for the memories he has of his son.
When I arrived, this is how I found my house. My neighbor house as well. That was the house when I was growing up. So I got shocked. I can't say nothing because it's inviolable. Understand the situations, but look, it's something that sometimes I cannot. I told like myself, no, maybe this is just like a dream or something. It's not true. But then you woke up the day after and you find the reality, and it is what it is. We share everything. Of course, this is a very, very tough situation, and we have to, because we need sometimes we need a hug, you know. You feel that you miss people, that I miss my cousin that I was growing up with, and I miss, look, the situation. In my opinion, I guess it will be a little bit hard for tourism still come to Morocco, especially to Marrakech, because its situations happen nearby to Marrakech, and really hopefully that tourist people they understand that it's nature that can happen everywhere, and yes, of course, safety is more important. But I really hope the tourists they can understand that it's not something that we can manage. That's something that they can happen everywhere in all over the world.
The earthquake disaster is sad, but this long line of donors standing here is a happy moment. Everyone is aware of the importance of blood donation at this time. We are proud to take part. We want to help the injured. This wave of solidarity proves the love, compassion, and the responsibility which all Moroccans share.
I just think this is a natural action for humanity. We experienced the earthquake here in the Medina. We rushed in panic. We slept in the streets with the Moroccan residents who welcomed and helped us. We had nothing, but people here shared their blankets and took care of us for the whole night. We're donating blood and offering help before going back to France.
This is my second blood donation in 3 days. I want to make sure that this center receives all the blood quantities it needs to help people. This is the least one can do for the injured and the country.
As the search for survivors continues in Morocco, experts are warning that the traditional building materials used in the high Atlas Mountains may reduce the chances of finding survivors. We never lose hope and we never give up, says Antonio Nogales, president of the NGO Firefighters United Without Borders. But he says life gaps, pockets of air for survivors to breathe, are unlikely to form with this type of housing. The homes are sometimes hundreds of years old and are often built by the families themselves without an architect's help. Materials include mud brick, stone, and rough wood. Colin Taylor is an emeritus professor of earthquake engineering at the University of Bristol.
Problem with rubble and mud brick materials for the older houses, the whole material is so brittle. You basically got a pile of rocks and mud dust, and that just congeals together. Even though it's dry, it really won't leave many pockets that you could survive in, any air pockets that you could breathe through. So you're sort of almost being buried underground, if you like, by all this material falling around you. It sort of pack itself around you. So it's certainly not a very conducive situation for survival.
Experts say even concrete homes often lack anti-seismic design, something that will have to be top of mind as the country looks to rebuild.
The big government decision is really around making sure you use modern construction forms in any rebuilding. Rebuilding in this mud brick form is just going to create the next disaster in 20 or 30 years' time. But that is a significant economic challenge.
We are launching our emergency appeal to further scale up our action with the Moroccan Red Crescent. In this appeal, we are seeking 100 million Swiss francs to be able to deliver on the most pressing needs at this time, which include health, water, sanitation and hygiene, shelter, relief items and basic needs, support to livelihoods, protection, and community engagement. We need to make sure that we avoid a second wave of disaster. This emergency response, as with many earthquakes, is a marathon. The people affected by the earthquake will need support for the weeks and months to come. And we will need to continue to show that solidarity and support, not only now, but in the future. Such a vast-scale earthquake with such devastation needs long-lasting and sustainable report. As we've seen from the TV screens, logistics are very tough, particularly since the earthquake has hit these remote mountain areas. Challenges include roads blocked by debris, difficulty in accessing fuel for vehicles in these high mountain ranges, and broken water supplies, which brings with it the very real risk of disease and infection if people are unable to access safe and clean water.